this is to alert anybody who messes around with legacy Rust. Rustlegacy.eu, I do believe, is the page I'm looking at really quickly here. Rustlegacy.eu. And on the page, it has a list of servers that are currently active. Now, this is where you can also find the cut and paste URLs that you use, otherwise known as IP addresses, so you can log into the game. Up here we have rustrelic.eu normal, and it's running 60 players, it says. And if anybody is not aware of it, I've already run several videos explaining that for some reason, which I'll go into later, I have problems with going onto their site. But let's talk about the others. I think we can organize by number of players, but the top player listing is 19 players on Wild Island 5X. Then there's Wild Island MEGALOOT. There's Wild Island 2X, and then I guess 20 clans or whatever. So this says respectively 19, 12, and 10 players out of 100. When I go on to them, all of them show one player, me. And this is consistent enough, I'm willing to say on this video, that they're not actually having 19, 12, or 10 players. Period. Unless it's somehow they're ghosted or whatever, because even when you're on there, if you type in /players, it says it's just you. That's it. I'm not sure how this is doing it. Now, the way this might be happening is they might be reporting what their population stats were, let's say 5-10 minutes ago, and they're delayed. Or they might be combining all of them and it's 19 total, but it's spread under these 3 different modes or usages, but they have significantly different IP addresses, or really these are just URLs. This one's using 2025, 2020, and this is using 28015. Now, the rest of them that have consistent high numbers, Rust Arena and Rust Vanilla and Rust Battlefield, are showing the normal numbers that you see depending on the time of day. And the rest are doing what they normally do, which is having 0 players or 1 or 2 players, and that's about it. And some of them have a maximum of 50 or whatever because there's a certain setup. But the one that shows 60, this is the reason I wanted to play rustrelic.eu, but again, it requires that I do a Trust Me Bro download instead of using the one I'm using. So let's go ahead and look at these. We're going to look at Wild Island, the 3 of them, and I'm just going to go in and see how many players we have. So let's get rid of that asterisk there. So we got Wild Island 2, MEGALOOT, and 5X. So we're going to do 5X first, and I'm just going to double click it and we'll go into it real quick. And I'll pause the video you're watching so you don't have to sit through the loading screen. Okay, you should be watching the video I'm watching, and it says currently online 1 out of 100. So, and it will bring up the F1 console, and it says I just logged into Wild Island 5X CLANS Home Kits WARPS Wipe 16/12/24. So I don't know, is it just falsifying the numbers, or is it just a mistake? I don't know which way it is. So let's go ahead and hit disconnect. And again, that was this one here. So we're going to do the MEGALOOT PvP. I think that was the right one. Yeah, no, excuse me, I did this one down here. Now we're going to do MEGALOOT PvP, and then we'll do the one directly above it called Wild Island. Let's do this one. And again, I'll pause during the loading screen. And we've gotten on to Wild Island, MEGALOOT, PvP, yada yada, and it says currently online 1 of 100. And again, when I go here and look at the listing for it, it shows that it loaded Wild Island MEGALOOT PvP. And it says 1. And again, when we go here and hit disconnect, it was supposed to be 12 players. Now we'll do here Wild Island 2, and this one right here, it says there's 10 out of 10 players. These would be extraordinarily high numbers normally. Again, I'll pause during the loading screen. And here we are, it says currently online 1 out of 100. And we go here and it says we're on Wild Island number 2, X20 CLANS Home Kits Warps Wipe, yada yada yada. And when we hit this, we show that we're on there and it says 10 out of 100. Now I'm going to do another thing here. I'm going to get out of that. I'm going to hit players. Oh, excuse me, I missed one player online, and it's me. And then if I type in online, it should say 1. Players online is 2 out of 100. Okay, cool. So we got extras. So let's go ahead and just log out. So in conclusion, Wild Island series of servers show 10, 12, and 19 respectively. And if I refresh, it should show 1 or 2 instead, right? Okay, and it's showing 10, 12, and 18. Now, what I'm seeing here is they're either padding their numbers or whatever. Now, here we have one that says 58 out of 100. This may be a mirror server for the other one, which we'll just bring up again, called Rust Relic Normal. That looks likely. Somebody hit F5 refresh and see if we can get that listing. And what do you know? Rust Relic Normal, blah, 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 is 58. And when we look at it in the server list, there it is, and it's showing up as an unnamed server. Now, maybe that's Rust Relic or not. Again, I wasn't able to go onto it before, but now, hey, maybe we can. So let's see if Rust Relic is this one. Again, this may be the alias for Rust Relic, which means it might work. I don't know. When I tried to do the IP address, which it clearly shows here is this series of numbers, it said incompatible version, which I don't know which version it wants. It might want only their modded version, only their version with their version of cheat protection. It might also want, like, let's say the 2013 or 2015 version, which is alpha and beta respectively. I don't know. Let's just go ahead and do that just for shits and giggles, and let's see if it even works. And of course it immediately says no. It says incompatible versions. So in conclusion, the Wild Island series of 3 servers are giving either inflated numbers or there's some sort of problem. And again, well, there's nothing left to it. So at that point, I have less and less to work with. Yesterday or day before, there was 3 tabs worth of them. And again, over here, that's where you get the rustrelic's.eu IP address, and it wants a different version. I'm assuming, I don't know, I'm assuming it wants a specific version that they created. Then again, it might work with an ordinary copy like I have. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. And Wild Island 1, 2, and 3 here, let's call them that, with 10, 12, and 18 players respectively, appear to have got their player counter stuck.